Danigas.
Good evening. I would like to call this regular meeting of the Yuma Union High School District Number 70 Governing Board to order, as we've already had two things occur this afternoon. We've said the pledge and the moment of silence, so we're going to go straight into item 2.1. Board members may have a discussion about conferences, visitations, legislation, special recognition, donations, etc. Is there anybody who would like to share anything? I think we had a quiet month. Thank you so much. So moving on to Tim, Superintendent's Report, item 2.2.
Thank you. Over the summer, we've done a lot of different things. Madam President talked about today was very busy already, so it was. Getting ready for new teachers to report, which you'll hear a little bit later from our Executive Director, Corey Semler. But I do want to recognize one employee who will be leaving us at the end of the month. I know he doesn't want much said or done about it, but for the last 25 years, he's been an institution in Yuma Union, and he is actually a COFA graduate, one of our own. Yes, Joe Daly, you can make some noise, Joe. But you don't even know who I'm talking about, Joe. But at the end of the day, you know, like we take pride in Yuma Union when we have wonderful individuals doing wonderful work. They're gonna get headhunted and eventually stolen from us. But we're always looking for people to come back to us as well. But Dean Farr will be leaving us. So I think we just need to let everyone know that he did start off, I think, as a tech about 25 years ago. I remember seeing him going through the halls of Cibola with his little tech backpack. Personally, he's the one that made sure that I realized the importance of technology when I was still using a notepad. We've done a lot of problem solving and thinking over the years to really make Yuma Union something that can attract people from outside of Yuma and Arizona to see how we do things so wonderfully because of the way our tech department works. So I think we need to give Dean a round of applause for 25 years of service. Dean, if you'd like to give a speech, you have the opportunity to, or... That's not for me to say.
Come on.
Speech.
Make it short.
No.
I did tell Brandon he should be showing up to this meeting so that I wouldn't have to do something like this. I was afraid. No, I am extremely grateful to be part of the Yuma Union High School District. I take a lot of pride in, my dad was a principal at COFA High School. Some of you might know that. I'm not going to out anybody. I had the great opportunity to kind of follow in those footsteps, and it's been a great ride. And like Tim said, I wasn't looking for a job. You know, that goes, I wasn't looking for a job, just the opportunity presented itself, and you take these things to your family and you make those decisions. I told Tim when we chatted, I'm like, I am in it for the success of Yuma Union High School District. I'm sticking it through the registration process, so you can still scream at me if you need to as we work through all of that, but trying to make sure that we have a really successful launch to the school district. I'm an advocate for public education. My kids will be in the Yuma Union High School District. I have a senior and a freshman this coming year at Cibola, so I'll come and support you. How's that? And all the great work that the board does. But thank you for the opportunity to be here, to work here, and to serve with all of you.
Thank you so much.
Dean. That was, if you know Dean, that was one of the more succinct demonstrations of being able to explain. So thank you, Dean, for 25 years. We'll see you around, but thank you for continued support. I just for the record, I know Joe Daly got excited when we mentioned COFA. I didn't hear anything from Brett Pavey when Cibola was mentioned, so that's the new gold standard. But at the end of the day, we take pride in all of our campuses, and when we can have people that we grew up with us, go on and do other things. It just helps Yuma Union continue to do wonderful things, and I know you'll keep us abreast of what's going on. So thank you, Dean. With that, that's the end of my superintendent's report.
Thank you so much. Okay, informational item 3.1. We're back to Miss Brenda, budget update, but this is for last school year, I guess. We're closing it out.
Yes, good evening. This is our monthly budget update. Ms. Kravitz, you are correct. This is still for last fiscal year because this is the expenditures up until June, so June 30th. You'll see on the first page is our M&O, and you'll see our salaries and our fixed expenditures. We are still obviously closing out the year, so even though next month we'll be reporting on the new school year, then once the AFR is done, and then Neil will present that in October, and that will be like actual expenditures for the school year.
For this past school year?
Yes, for 25-26. So on the second page, you'll see the expenditures for the different departments in the schools, and then our budgeted amount for 25-26 was $115,575,46, and expenditures as of 6/30, $85,277,954, so about 74%. And then the next page is our capital. And the budget for our capital was $15,964,449, and expenditures about 32%, $5,137,673. And then the monthly student activities report. This is also for June of 2026. So you'll see the ending cash balance for the district is $723,738.76, and then the year-to-date revenues and expenditures, and we ended, and it'll show like a negative $238.72, but that's because they spent more than what they brought in. But as you see in our ending cash balance, like we want them to be able to do that. Any questions?
I have one weird question. We have the MAP program, the Mastery of the Arts program. Would that ever show up on this student activity fund report? Is there a student like club there?
So we do have a budget out of M&O for Mastery of the Arts. It's on the second page.
Right, but I
but
mean,
that's just for like the supplies and all that.
It's a program. It's not a school, so they don't have any school clubs attached to MAP itself. So that not that it'd be on here, but there is a booster club now at Mastery of Arts program. But that booster club accounts don't show up here either.
Yeah. Okay, that was my question. Thank you.
So there is a line item for that, but it's not for for like anything related to the school.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Brenda. Thanks, Tim.
Any other questions?
Anybody else? Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Moving on to 3.2, launching the 26-27 school year, registration, etc. Corey, I believe this is you today. Make it short, says Carlos. He's going to say that to everybody today.
You have your bag of food right there.
All right, well, good evening. Thank you for having me and allowing me to share some of the work we've been, doing over the summer, and also everything that goes into kind of launching a successful school year. So the first day of school will be August 4th. We're back into August. I know the last couple years we've been kind of there at the end of July, but our first day of school will be August 4th. And there are 3 phases or big events that take place during the summer that allow us to have that smooth transition into a new school year. And so I'm going to touch on the on-site registration, new teacher orientation, and campus pre-service. You're not reading that incorrectly. The 2030 cohort will be welcomed onto our campuses this year. I'm looking at some faces and some head nods and shakes, and don't try to do the math from your graduating year to 2030. I don't think we'll be too happy with that. But yeah, we're welcoming a new decade onto our campuses this year. Registration will begin on July 23rd, and that'll be with our senior cohort. The dates and or the times are remaining the same as we've had in years past, where we're going to try to get the beginning of the alphabet, A to L from 12 to 3, and then M to Z from 3 to 6. That's just to try to reduce wait times for families and different things like that. Now, if you're only available during, a specific time, we're obviously going to welcome and serve any of our families when they come and arrive at our campuses. If you have multiple students, feel free to come on either of their assigned days. So let's say you have a senior and a freshman, Mr. Farr. You can come on the senior day and bring your freshman as well, and we'll take care of them. So again, the main reason why we have them separated by cohort and alpha is just to try to reduce wait times for families. On-site registration is an all-hands-on-deck activity. It's one of the few times we get to welcome every student and every family onto our campuses in a short amount of time. And so with that being said, there's so many different departments that play a role in this. And so I really just wanted to take the time and the opportunity to show this isn't just a teaching and learning thing or a campus level. I mean, every department really plays a role. The campus teams do a great job of providing fantastic customer service to nearly 11,000 students and their families. And that includes the setup. So maintenance and grounds and all the support staff, just getting ready for the event. I know our campuses look great. The technology and bookstore staff and preparing everything for the students and families. Communications has been busy, and they'll continue to get even more busy as the school year approaches and making sure our families are informed. And then obviously the teaching and learning team, we've had a lot of work going on behind the scenes for OLR and making things accessible to families so they can really expedite the process by having things completed before they arrive onto campuses. So that way it can just be a really smooth transition into the new school year.
Corey, what's OLR?
So that's what we call online registration. And so if you're a newer incoming student, you can actually complete many of these documents to self-enroll prior to coming onto campus, because you have to enroll and then you come to the on-site registration, and that's where you're going to get your course materials, your schedule, pay your fees, things like that.
So paying fees is in person?
So we will have stations set up, but you'll do that on an account called My School Bucks, and so that's all done electronically now. But we will have bookstore support and things like that for those that want to pay in person.
Right. I was just trying to think of families that, like, let's say have a half an hour to come in and do registration. What percentage of our students' registration can be done online and away from the building? So that, like, maybe they only have 30 minutes in.
Yeah, no, if you, and as a former campus administrator, that's something we would do, is like time the line. Like, I would pick somebody and see how long it took from start to finish, and 30 minutes now is a pretty well-oiled machine. That's very doable. When I want to slap a percentage on how much you can get done, really you can have all your forms completed, and you just have to go station to station to submit them. So you're not having to spend a lot of time anymore collecting forms and completing them there. You will need to take a picture ID for your new student ID as a student, and then you have to get the Chromebook or technology agreement form done in person to get your Chromebook. But other than that, most of the other things can be completed online.
It's interesting because I always think of our district as being so tech advanced, right? And so forward thinking that I keep on thinking you're going to come up here and say 1 year, everything's done online and all you have to do is swoop in and sign for your Chromebook and grab it and go.
So
Do you foresee that happening?
as a parent at Kofa High School and Cibola High School, so I'm trying to balance it out. Thank you, Brett. I had to do a redo. And even administrator at one point at Cibola, lines were pretty long as we started getting more tech savvy, shorter and shorter. At Kofa, the last year my son had to register, I was kind of wondering how long the lines were, and I screwed up. I didn't go early. I went when the big crowd was there. It took 10 minutes, and it was because I had to walk the gym, and everything is just boom, boom, boom. So there's still some things that we have to do in person. You have to get your picture taken because there's things that we have to make sure that aren't in a photo, for example, when a student does their own photo ID, and to actually go get your Chromebook and then make sure you log in correctly so that way you can log in for the first time on campus and be successful. So there's a couple things right now that you still have to be in person. I don't know. One day we'll get there, 100%. Like, I mean, to say we're not, one day we'll get there. So
Right, but it's encouraging for families to say 30 minutes is a good idea if you can get your stuff done on every campus, right?
Yep.
Because that's very exciting. Thank you.
But it's nice too, even when you're on campus, you can have that relational.
Oh yeah, no, I mean for the kids, it's great, right? There, all the clubs are out, and you get to meet student council and stuff. But for families who are pressed for time, I just want to give that hope that you're not in line for 2 hours like I was when my kids were at Cibola.
And now they're all indoors.
Yes, you was.
They're all indoors too in the air
Yes.
conditioning, which is also a great logistical change. So the next phase for teaching and learning is new teacher orientation. And so that takes place from July 22nd to the 29th. And this is where we equip our new teachers. We don't want to just, welcome them as we welcome students on that first day of school. So they actually get a full week of preparation, 5 days of that being provided by my teaching and learning team to allow them to build connections, that relational capacity, and allow them to really thrive in the district, not just arrive. And now that we have an instructional framework, we can really equip them with great teaching strategies from day one, because we all know how important the first 30 days of school are. And then that allows them to not only begin building meaningful relationships with fellow new teachers, but also their instructional support staff. We have instructional coaches, avid site coordinators, ed tech coaches, our campus administrators all make appearances during different times. So our new teachers know that the support isn't just a website or a manual or a document, it's the people of YUHSD.
This on it here, or is
Yep.
it at each different?
That'll be hosted here, here in the governing boardroom, and then they will have, and I'll get to that in a second, like a campus pre-service where it's a little bit more itemized and specific to campus goals and needs.
Day for a board member to come.
The first day.
First day?
so
Last year, it was
So I sent the agenda. The agenda was sent out in a Friday report. I can resend it again just so it's top of mind. Any time you want to come, just let us know in advance. But the first day is usually a pretty good day. But
And I can send some invitations out too to,
yeah,
like you said, with the agenda. to
yeah.
help.
But it's
How many
It's
new
exciting.
teachers are you anticipating?
Approximately 60.
Oh, wow.
Yep, approximately 60. And when we say new, that term is somewhat loose. Some of them are returning teachers, that have either left the district for whatever reason, come back, retired, come back, or joined us late last school year, and now they're, welcomed officially into our district. So I know 60 sounds like a lot, but when you still consider our retention rates and things like that, in 7 campuses now, with a full cohort at every campus, I mean, it's going to be a great year. So during new teacher orientation, we do go over some housekeeping items. We want them to just be able to hit the ground running and have a successful employment. So it's not just teaching and learning. Human resources is involved. Our superintendents all make appearances and have different conversations to not only welcome people to the district, but ensure that they have all the resources to be successful and know who's who and who to ask. We have them build connections with colleagues and potential mentors. Something that we're adding this year that we're really excited is a teacher panel. And so on the second day of new teacher orientation, we'll have some of our, I say veteran teachers, but some of them are intentionally selected because they were first-year teachers last year, right, to add some perspective. In addition to a teacher panel, we're also going to have a student panel because we really want them to be able to connect with our students from day one and learn why YUHSD from the student's perspective. They will be introduced to our instructional framework, which is really the shared vision for what high quality instruction looks like. And then they're going to learn that all of this really just takes a village. Like they're a really important piece to this village for a student, but then also the bigger village of YUHSD, all the support staff that I've already kind of mentioned, and the role that they're going to play in that for every student. And this brings me to the final phase of the summer, which is campus pre-services. So this is left up to campuses. Our teaching and learning team can obviously provide whatever support is needed or asked for, but our campuses do a great job of not only welcoming back their returning teachers, but those new teachers as well. This is where they're going to go over their school goals, maybe have some campus-specific professional development to allow their teachers to really have that spark in areas of emphasis to begin the new school year. And then they have intentional planning time, get their classrooms ready. And when we say classroom, it isn't just the physical classroom anymore. It's that digital classroom of Canvas and everything that entails. And that takes place that following week up until the 3rd, because again, on the 4th is when we're going to welcome our students back for the 26-27 school year. So with that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have about any of our phases of the summer. Cool.
Did a great
Awesome.
presentation.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 3.3, strategic plan. We all got that emailed to us. Tim?
All right, thank you. It's been 366 days, so it was July 9th, 2025. So I guess I got to check my math, so it's been 364 days. Since we last took this to the governing board, I asked the governing board to see what direction they wanted to go with the strategic plan, and the board decided that it would be a light refresh of the current existing strategic plan. I do have up on the monitors what that looked like. So Carolina, if you want to kind of scroll through it, if you could, just so, as a reminder for people. And there's also a handout on your dais as well, front and back, of just what it looked like on the website. So that is what it looked like. So with the governing board's direction, working with the team, which included Eric Patton, the associate superintendents, B.B. Frazine, and Crystal Buckley, we got together to talk about how are we going to go about doing this. So we actually sent a survey out to the entire district, asking them about the core values and give us examples of what those core values mean in action, as well as are there any contemporary words that we might want to update from the core values. And the one interesting area, we had over 350 responses from the entire district regarding different parts. And the one area that there was, I think, maybe one response, maybe two, was agility on the old one. No one knew what agility meant under one of the under core values. And this plan was adopted in 2007 and last touched in 2017, but no one knew what agility meant. So that's one area that the team decided, let's take it out and see what we can go with. So I do have Eric Patton, who was part of the design as well, because the website itself, we had to, I don't want to say finagle, but just work within the structure and the limitation of the website. But essentially, core values are what we lightly refreshed and gave some examples through. So Eric, do you want to talk about the layout of the core values right now?
Definitely. So what you're seeing right now is a mock-up of the website. It's not publicly visible because you guys haven't approved any of these changes yet. So this is just a really for the first public viewing of this in any way. We're going to kind of walk through what it looks like. So at the top of the page, you're going to see our mission, which was really the only thing from the original page that looks kind of similar, where it's just text-based. The goal was really to create more visual appeal and understanding. So that includes a lot of examples. So the first thing you see is a graphic that has an icon that connects to each of the core values, and those will correspond as we scroll down further and see some of those examples. So if we scroll down to the part at the bottom that says core values with the plus signs, so each of those core values are listed there. You can keep going down just a little bit more. We could click on learner-centered just to get an idea. If you click that, it's going to expand that tab out and give you a brief explanation, again, with that icon matching to the graphic that we saw at the top, as well as clickable links for examples. So if you clicked instructional framework as an example, that's the graphic on the left. It will take you to a new window and give you the full-size picture of the graphic as opposed to just those thumbnails, so you can get a better idea of what our instructional framework looks like. The portrait of a graduate example on the previous page would take you to the portrait of a graduate section of our website. So there's some that take you to a full-size graphic, and there's others that will take you to a web page that's associated with that. If you want to scroll down to, let's do innovation. It's the third from the bottom. That's another one where you see kind of a mix of a graphic, and if you click the Master of the Arts one, it's going to take you to a web page. Again, to the Master of the Arts program page. Overall, again, with agility being removed, there are thumbnail examples, at least one for each of those, and there's up to 4 on some of those as well, to just showcase what that means in real time as opposed to, written words and like theoretically what it means. Do you guys have any questions about the way that the site is laid out or anything else?
They check it out.
To me, it's user-friendly. You sent us this.
Yeah, I sent it yesterday.
Click all around it. Like I clicked at it, and then I even said to you, I think that when you popped up the big graphic for my old eyes, it was great.
No.
I was like, oh, that looks great. And you definitely refreshed it and made it look great, which of course we knew you would. But I guess my question is for you, the refresh was more than just the visual. It was actually the intent behind it as well, right?
So there were several things that, as we developed, and it's taken, like I said, I'm doing my math a little better now, 364 days to get here, but because we did it when we got together, we had time, we went back and did some research. How does it look? How does it doesn't look? Where we want to go with this down the road. So one thing for example, I just want to call out, like learner-centered used to be learning-centered education. So overall, the meanings are pretty much the same. We just got rid of agility because we were agile, and then decided to make some slight nuance changes. As we have the tiles that you can click on for each one, whether it's learning-centered or innovation, college career, community preparedness, whatever it may be, we can add different tiles throughout the years. We can take ones away. We can update data that may be there as we go into our early college experience program. That might be something that we'd want under college career with the data of how many kids are in there, and for example, how many credits are being earned. So it's no longer a static page, but are we living up to these things? And I think that's the second part of the question. How is Yuma Union High School District demonstrating this? We can give tours on our campuses every day, and people can see it in action, but if you just want to go to the website and see snippets of it, this is where you should be able to walk away with some of that and say, oh, I want to know more. And one area we wanted to make sure was accounted for is, I see Ron, I see Elena out here, I see Angelica from procurement. Like every one of our departments go to every student graduating college career community prepared. So how does that look and feel? Right. So we should be able to add and take away and enhance as the months and years go on. Right.
I didn't realize yesterday when I was clicking through that what does that say? Something on goals?
Priorities and goals.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was clickable.
Yeah, that's clickable, and we didn't do many changes on there. Correct me if I'm wrong, Eric. Just maybe to match the vocabulary, if we change learner-centered, for example, but that still stayed the same from the original 2007.
Yeah, I think overall we might have deleted 1 or 2 bullet points just to clean it up or make it consistent, and then we changed just some grammatical inconsistencies and things like that. And then the format is laid out similarly, as opposed to having one bulky paragraph with multiple bullets. It's a little easier flow.
It's
I guess,
so much more user friendly,
visually appealing.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give
Well, thank you both.
Yeah.
All. Thank you all.
If you like it, it's the team. If you don't like it, it's my idea. So that's just my mantra.
Clearly. Does anybody else have a question or a comment? Eric, thanks for coming up here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Eric.
Okay, moving on to informational item 3.4, the first read of policy. There were 4 policies. We got it in our board book. Any questions or comments on it? Okay. Then I am going to jump to call to the public. Item 4.1. Any person wishing to speak may present the information at this time only. All presentations are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and a maximum of 15 minutes on each subject. Before you begin to speak, identify yourself by clearly stating for the record your name. Comments by members of the governing board in response to any public comment will be limited to asking staff to review the matter or requesting rescheduling of the matter for further consideration at a later date. I have received no cards. Is there anybody here that wishes to address the board? Easy audience today. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on to consent items. Number 5, adoption of items of routine nature and those that normally do not require deliberations on the part of the governing board. A board member may pull items which will be discussed and voted on separately. I was thinking about pulling one item under employment resignation, but I didn't. So there is nothing to pull, correct?
Nothing to pull.
Okay, then may I have a motion?
I recommend that the governing board approve the minutes as submitted.
Yeah, the consent items.
Aye.
Okay, so the motion is to approve all consent items as submitted. Perfect. Second, okay, motion made by Carlos, seconded by Shelley. Any comments? Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 6.1. Oh, yay. Consideration to accept donations. Yay. Okay, I will read them into the record. Gila Ridge High School, Hawks FFA alumni donated $2,973.35 to the Gila Ridge High School FFA Club to use as needed. The 4th Avenue Gym Foundation donated a 2026 John Deere Gator to the Gila Ridge High School Athletic Department to use as needed. The value of this donation is $14,271.47. To Kofa High School, the Kofa class of 1965 donated $2,066.74 to the Kofa High School female athletic programs to use as needed. The Royal Golf Booster Club donated $3,000 to the Kofa High School boys golf team to support the program. The donation will be used for uniforms, meals, travel, equipment, and other team-related expenses. The Royal Golf Booster Club donated $3,369.42 to the Kofa High School girls golf team to support the program. The donation will be used for uniforms, meals, travels, equipment, and other team-related expenses. The 4th Avenue Gym Foundation donated a softball scoreboard, swim athletic supplies, weight room equipment, and unified sports supplies to the Kofa High School Athletic Department. The estimated value of this donation is $19,800. The Society for Science donated $1,000 to Kofa High School to support Jason Flores science classes. The donation will be used for transportation, substitute coverage, student meals, and project supplies. San Luis High School, the Caballeros de Yuma donated $965 to the San Luis High School Cadets Club to use for field trip expenses. Jesus Osuna donated a closet cabinet to the San Luis High School Care Closet Room. The estimated value of this donation is $25. To Vista High School, the Society for Science donated $1,000 to Vista High School to support Catherine Lloyd's science classes. Their donation will be used for transportation, substitute coverage, student meals, and project supplies. The Optimist Club of Yuma donated $500 to the Vista High School culinary program to purchase equipment as needed. To the Yuma Union High School District Number 70, Anvita Health Administration donated breakfast and lunch for all 4 days of the new teacher orientation to the Yuma Union High School District. The estimated value of this donation is $7,700. Jeff and Bibi Frazine donated table decor, daily favors, candy, snacks, napkins, plates, and ice cream for all 4 days of the new teacher orientation to the Yuma Union High School District. The estimated value of this donation is $400. The total donations for this month and this school year are $57,070.98. Is there a motion?
I recommend that the governing board accepts the above listed donations.
Thank you. Motion made by Carlos, seconded by Christy. Any comments? Thank you to everybody who donates all the time and any time. Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item 6.2, consideration to adopt the school budget. We went over it. We had it presented. Can I have a motion?
I move that we adopt the 2026-2027 school district budget.
Can I make sure that everybody's mics are on, so when you speak?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Motion made by Christie, seconded by David. Any comments, questions? Great, let's proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6.3. Oh, I gotta get to it. Consideration to approve the refresh strategic plan. Is there a motion?
I move that the governing board approve the refreshed Union High School District strategic plan as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Christie, seconded by Shelley. Any comments? Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item 6.4, consideration to approve the Empowerment Scholarship account tuition. We all got the background information in our board books. Is there a motion?
I recommend that the governing board approve the Empowerment Scholarship account tuition for the 2026-2027 school year of $750 per course per semester, effective the first day of school.
Thank you.
I second.
Thank you. Motion made by Carlos, seconded by Christie. Any comments? Then let's proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Oh, that was loud. Action item 6.5, consideration to approve YUHSD's membership with Arizona School Board Association. We also had this in our board book. I would like to make a motion.
A point of order, it was not approved, but it's discussion of possible action.
Discussion and, no, I know.
Okay.
Oh, did I say approved?
Yeah.
I apologize.
I'm just correcting it for the record.
No, I apologize. I would like to move that we sever the relationship with Arizona School Board Association.
I second.
I'll second that.
Motion made by myself, seconded by Christie and others. Is there any comments or questions?
What was the motion again?
To sever our relationship with Arizona School Board Association financially. It was the intent. Yes.
The question I have is, we see how much they charge. How much are we paying? How much do we pay the trust?
So, the Arizona School Board Association, there's really two fees there. There's the membership fee, which is the larger amount of $18,286. I'm sorry, that's really just over 15,000. But with the having to pay for a policy service that we don't use, that's something new this year, which is $3,356, which brings it to a total of a little over 18,000. For the trust, this is our third year of the trust, so we're paying $2,500 for their policy services, and in your fourth year of the trust, it would be $3,500, and that they would maintain that number of $3,500. So that's your full implementation of the policy services is by your fourth year, they say. So this year it'll be $2,500.
And I think we had thought about a cost analysis, and so if we had decided to have Arizona School Board Association come in as a board to do some board training, it would still be way cheaper to just hire them for that than to pay the $18,000. Yeah, that's my opinion. Yeah.
I have a couple of questions. So we're still going to be able to attend conferences, but I know it's going to cost a little bit more because we're not going to be members anymore.
Yeah, you're still able to attend conferences. You just pay the non-membership fee. Not you. The district pays a non-membership fee, which is typically triple the actual registration fee. So $600 maybe for the law conference, it would be $1,800. But that's on top of your membership fee you pay anyway. You would still pay the $600 if you're a member anyway. So
Take any effect on the for the NSBA as well, or no?
no, I don't believe it affects NSBA.
I don't think so either.
You could still attend that conference as well. That's not an issue.
Right.
Thinking ahead, trying to make sure that you guys are fiscally responsible, which you are, but and good stewards of the money. I did look at cost analysis. If last year, for example, we paid the non-membership fee for conferences, we still would not have spent $18,000. with hotels and non-membership fee. Even though it's a triple for the registration fee, we still would not have approached that number of $18,000 that is just for policy and membership this year. So I think the governing board needs to decide, what's the benefit and what do we get, what do we receive from ASBA for the cost that we're paying.
Well, and beyond just the fiscal attributes of being part of ASBA, it's very clear to me, sitting on this board for years, that their priorities are not necessarily our priorities, and they've moved. So not just for fiscal purposes, in my opinion, but also because I disagree with much of what they have done. That's why I would like to vote that way.
Like I say, as long as I can continue attending the conferences, I'm okay, because I do like to attend some of those conferences, so that's personally on my behalf, so.
Anybody else have a comment?
I just want to say that if at some point the board decided that they wanted to rejoin ASBA, that would be something that I would bring back to the board as well. So that's an option down the road, but that's the board's decision.
So it's not permanent?
No, this is for this year, upcoming year.
Okay, if there are no more comments, then let's proceed to vote. All those in favor of the motion of severing our relationship with ASBA, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item 6.6, consideration to approve partnership IGA for Avid Tutors. It was in our board books. Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the recommended intergovernmental agreement.
I second.
Motion made by Carlos, seconded by Shelley. All those any comments? All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Oh my, let me get to the next one. 6.7. Consideration to approve the intergovernmental agreement with the City of Somerton through the Somerton Police Department. This was also in our books. Is there a motion?
I move that the board approve the IGA for the Yuma Educational Consortium. Oh, wrong
Wait,
one.
nope.
So sorry.
That's okay. I move that the governing board approve the IGA by and between the City of Somerton through the Somerton Police Department and Yuma Union High School District number 70.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Motion made by myself, sorry, Christy. Seconded by David. Any comments?
That's just for 1 year, right?
No, it's
For the,
Till 2029.
it's a 3-year one,
Yeah.
and currently Somerton does not have an SRO for us on the campus, but they have hired more officers, and they're in the process of training. So when one becomes available, we would already have the IGA in place so that officer could start. I just want to point out this comes from a maintenance operation budget. This is not part of a grant. Yuma Union High School District has, for over 2 decades, almost 3 decades now, found a way to fund it through maintenance operation and not rely on a grant. So that allows for continuous law-related education with SROs on the campus. So
I know that at one point we were having, or is it the Somerton School District that they were hiring the sheriff officers to do the be as an SRO officers?
yeah, Somerton Elementary School District, they might have a school in the counties where
Not us.
No, not us. No.
We're in the city, not the county.
Yeah, but yeah, okay. We're counting, so.
Anybody else have a comment? Okay, let's proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.8, consideration to approve the IGA between YUHSD, Yuma School District number 1, AWC, and NAU for the educational resources cost sharing for 2026 through 2029.
I move to approve the IGA for the Yuma Educational Consortium for Educational Resources Cost Sharing 2026, 2029.
I second.
Thank you. Motion made by Shelley, seconded by Christy. Any comments?
I just want to add, and I apologize, it'll probably be my last comment on IGAs. This is the umbrella policy or umbrella IGA for the Education Consortium. You'll see 3 more IGAs listed below it, but this allows us to enter in the other 3, which would cover transportation. I see Ron here. We have Naeem from procurement, and then we have Dean from tech. So those are the next 3 ones that would allow for that.
So without this one, we couldn't have those.
It would look and feel a little bit different, yes. We could still do something, but it would look and feel different.
Okay. Any comments? Great. Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6.8, IG agreement between, oh no, that's, well, we just did that one. Hang on, I'm sorry. 6.9. Consideration to approve the 2026-2029 IGA for Yuma Educational Technology Consortium. Is there a motion?
I move that the governing board approve the 26 through 29 intergovernmental agreement for the Yuma Educational Technology Consortium.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Christie, seconded by David. Any comments? Okay, let's proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.10, consideration to approve the 2026-2029 IGA for Yuma Educational Materials Management Consortium. Is there a motion?
I make a motion that the government approves the 2026-2029 intergovernmental agreement for the Yuma Unit Educational Materials Management Consortium.
Second.
Motion made by Carlos, seconded by Shelley. Any comments? Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6.11. Let me get there. Consideration to approve the 2026 through 2029 IGA for the Yuma Educational Transportation Consortium. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the 2026-2029 intergovernmental agreement for the Yuma Educational Transportation Consortium, as well as the attached annual budget and fees schedule for fiscal year 26.
Motion made by Shelley, seconded by Christie. Are there any comments, questions? Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Whew. Item 7, future agenda items. Does anybody have one? Great. Item 8.1, next meeting of the board. We have a special telephonic meeting on Monday, July 20th at noon. And then we have our regularly scheduled meeting August 12th, which is a Wednesday, 5:15 right here. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Thanks, everybody. Oh, yeah.